Radio TV Phono Nut here, and we have a 5-tube Japanese AM radio, probably from the 60s. This is one of two that I had. The other one I got rid of. This one's a little bit better looking shape, so I'm hanging on to it most likely. And these were offered in the United States for a very cheap price, usually under $10. They were sold under many different brand names and in many different case colors, from probably the late 50s on up through the late 60s, maybe early 70s. I think there was a kit version of this radio that was badged under the Graymark name, and that thing was available well into the 70s, maybe into the 1980s. I replaced some of the capacitors in here, and the radio plays, and it actually does pretty good, but here's the problem. We'll let it warm up, and I'll show you.
Today, for your free homeowners and renters quote at 601-482-5177.
That's as low as it gets.
Percy Bland. Call Percy Bland State Farm Insurance at 601-482-5177.
Meridian Gun and Fun. Parallel Street Free Field. Meridian, Alabama, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Apparently there were like 27 Democrats that would not vote with Pelosi to have the legitimate impeachment inquiry.
It gets loud.
40 Democrats in Trump won districts in 2016.
And louder.
So, but did they jump out of the...
And to be a cheapy radio, it plays pretty good. I think I've told you the story about my mentor that I met when I was a teenager. He was a retired radio and TV repairman. And back in the late 60s, maybe early 70s, one of the discount stores in town had loads of these little radios, and by that time Solid State had pretty much taken over, and the store wanted to get rid of all of these, so my friend bought them for what amounted to probably $1 or $2 a piece, and he said the only reason I wanted them was to get the 5 miniature tubes out of them, which was the same lineup that most every other 5-tube radio of the day used. He said I never plugged the first one in. I ripped the tubes out of all of them and threw the rest of them in the garbage. He said buying the tubes that way was much cheaper than buying them from the local parts house. And he said it was getting so by that time that people didn't want to spend much money repairing a 5-tube radio. So he said I needed to cut cost where I could. Well, yeah, those radios were considered junk back then, but now they're fairly collectible, especially if they're in good shape and you have something that's a case color other than white. Well, the volume control's bad here, but I was looking around on eBay, and where's my bag? What have I done with my bag? Here's my bag right here. I was looking at volume controls, and you know, it's getting harder to find these old style 500k ohm volume controls with the power switch, and what I was finding mostly was new old stock stuff that they wanted more for than what the radio was worth, or at least more than what I was willing to spend. So I found these two on eBay from a seller out of China, $1.99 free shipping for 2 pots. Now, how good they are is yet to be seen. I can't imagine them being very good quality, but if they work at all, you know, that'll be fine. I can't imagine them being any worse than what was in here. And the volume control and the switch was a weak spot on these radios, which, you know, you can't expect much out of these for something that cost probably between $6 and $8 when it was new. Alright, we got our soldering iron heated up. Let's swap out this volume control and see if it makes a difference. It should. It just amazes me how they can sell 2 of these for $1.98 or $99 or whatever they were, and free shipping to the USA. I've heard that the Chinese government subsidizes the shipping, and that's how they can afford to do that.
Counties all across.
Alright, here's the new pot. And it's one of those that at the very end you have 0 volume, but a slight advancement
Family plans a whopping 174%. That's just on average, more in some places. And there's a reason. Lobbyists, they're making decisions.
But at least we can turn it all the way down, and if you turn it very slightly, you can get
there's a movement in the country,
a comfortable volume level.
Healthcare. And by the way, doctors and health professionals that you choose.
But that's good. That's what we want to happen.
Now, how can you play your part? Go to this website.
Fixed for free. Car Sheila's help over. All
right, I think we're about done with this. Even though the original filters still check good, I went ahead and changed them because I have heard of a few cases of them going bad. But I'll tell you what, if you get one of these radios and if you don't do nothing else to it, replace this across the line capacitor over here, because it's not a question of if it's going to blow up and send shrapnel everywhere, it's when is it going to blow up and send shrapnel everywhere. So you might as well just go ahead and get rid of it. And yes, it took me some finagling to get everything shoved in here, but I got it all back in here as neat as I could.
Cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion market. Save thousands on like new cars without that new car price tag. News.
Hey, handful of drugs?
One is something like that, the oldest.
Now this capacitor here, it was originally connected between here and over here to where the first filter capacitor connects, but I already had enough stuff going to that terminal strip as it is, and with these smaller capacitors it gives us more flexibility as far as where we can put them, so I just literally connected it across from, instead of here, put it here, and it works just as well. I was looking on the internet, on eBay, and I found a Sam's Photo Fact for a Peerless branded radio that looks basically identical to this. Actually, I found a couple of different Photo Facts. One of them was from 65, the other one was from 66, and the one I found from 67 was a solid state set. This one here, I'm thinking may be a 65 model based on some what I believe to be date codes that I found. And yeah, one thing I'll say about these Japanese radios that I've never encountered an IF transformer with silver mica disease, so that's a good thing. And this one, this is your output IF transformer, and the input IF, if you want a transformer, if you want to call it that, is just a coil under here. Yeah, right there. The coil to the left is looks to be the oscillator coil. The other one there is your first IF transformer. Another handy feature of these Japanese sets that this one doesn't have, unfortunately, some of them had the tube retainer clips that go up over the tubes and hold them in place. That was a very good idea, and I don't know why more manufacturers didn't use those. But yeah, these are cheap radios. They were cheap radios, but for what they are, they do pretty good. A little bit bigger speaker would have helped them tremendously. But for something that cost under $10 when it was new, I really can't complain. And here we are 50 years later, and we were able to repair this thing and get it working pretty good. Nowadays, you have electronics that cost a lot more than $5 or $10 that in 5 years they're doing good to be still working, and forget about trying to repair them.
Pepper grouper or lobster tail. The desserts and after-dinner drinks at the Rustler are simply superb. The Rustler will make your dining a lovely experience.
I'm Ed Hall.
Yeah, the Rustler.
Kindness Revolution.
Spend more money there on one meal than what I spend for 2 weeks worth of groceries.
There's also too much fear in some of our children.
mínimo una vez por correo o dos, platicamos.
Is when intimidation is a size or group takes place, and it happens much too
Sports talk.
The result.
Very highly modulated Southern gospel. Very distorted R&B.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Festival. Comfortably travel the world or have enough money to help grandkids with college.
News talk.
You can reach the number you need. It just takes a plan. Go to ChrisHogan360.com to start.
The animal hospital, what a ripoff these people are. My God, what a machine they have down there.
And the other news talk station.
There's guys like Myers and Phillips said, I mean, who are these folks? Number 52.
That's probably WWL out of New Orleans, if I had to make a guess.
They seem to be able to get it. Go after her. Go after her on this. She's a liar. Well, it doesn't sound like news to me. It sounds like a political operation. And really, to the bottom of it, these people just hate Trump. Everything about Trump. If Trump...
Probably WSB, maybe. I don't know. There's WSM coming in kind of weak. Got some thunderstorms, I believe, in the area. That's probably the reason for the static.
Insight from social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, or listening to and watching games on ACC Network Extra via Cards Mobile. Viewing, scanning, transferring, and selling your tickets can all be done from your mobile device. And you can receive incentives just for being a fan through Cards Rewards. Let the digital age help make it easier to be a Cardinals fan. Visit GoCards.com for more information.
This is happening. Me in my office on Monday.
Let's say they impeach
disaster area. Correspondent Omar Villafranca is there.
All I heard was crack, crack, slam, bam.
Bill Devlin was sitting in the living room when the chimney came tumbling down. He threw himself into the hallway, then managed to pull his wife Tina to safety.
I had to bust through that door, and I pulled her out of the closet.
The husband and father of two daughters is just happy he gets to see his girls again. And there were just minor injuries reported. Tens of thousands of people, however, did lose electricity. Some homes and businesses could be without power for days. CBS News Update. I'm Jim Shenovich.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Did you know withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right, I said it. Let me educate you about this.
Players that can beat you.
We were trained to help others. 1% federal tax and...
Probably WDIA.
Trump? Here's...
All right, there you go. That one's fixed up and ready to put into service. No, maybe that's not WDIA. I don't think WDIA ever played Feeling Stronger Every Day by Chicago.